This is the 117 Podcast with your host, Rafael Hernandez.
Welcome everyone, I'm Rafael Hernandez. At last, the time has come for me to begin a podcast. I know that I've been talking about this for at least 6 years, and it's finally here. I want to thank everyone for their patience, for everyone that insisted that I should start a podcast, and everyone that sent me emails offering for help when I tweeted about it too. Special thanks to Chris Santana, Dimitar, and Aryan for directly helping me to make this pilot episode a reality. It's just the beginning. We are going to do lots of good things going forward. So this is it. Shall we begin? After having to record this podcast 6 different times during the week, it's finally time to have it published. So here are the new segments that I changed at least 6 times. The first segment will have me and Howard Hawkin, who's a Manchester City fan, talking about the Messi saga right after the interview was released. The second segment is about discussing Rakitic's legacy at Barcelona. And the third and final segment is about what I plan to do with the podcast in the long term.
Hello, I'm Howard, and this is the 9320 podcast with a special second Free Friday show. That may already be out of date by the time I finish recording it, with huge developments yet again regarding Lionel Messi. No, not to our liking, it seems. I'd like to have a special guest on the show just as the news breaks. Lionel Messi saying that he's staying at Barcelona, kind of, under duress. Namely, I'm joined by journalist and, of course, huge Barcelona fan and star of Twitter, Rafael Hernandez. Hello, Rafael. How are you feeling? Exhausted, I imagine.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm glad to be here, Howard. I'm absolutely exhausted, but I'm also flabbergasted because Messi, he will stay at Barcelona, but he has come out swinging. He is absolutely destroying Bartomeu in the interview with Goal. This is shocking. I only fantasize that Messi would someday come to the point where he would attack the Barcelona board. But the way that he's saying right now, it's something unbelievable. I'm at loss for words right now because he has just said the following. There is truth that there is no project at this club. They just plug holes and things happen. It's crazy, Howard. It's unbelievable.
I mean, you knew you didn't like him, but it's a shock to you that he's actually said it and put it on video.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know where is the video because it was expected to be out yet 10 minutes ago. But his interview with Go from the Go version of from Spain, it's a scathing attack on Bartomeu, and he said what we were discussing on Twitter for over a week now, that he was never going to go to trial against the club of his life. That's why he's staying. So we now know that Messi wanted to leave, Bartomeu played his hand, and now Bartomeu is paying for it.
Well, you say he's paying for it, but if Messi stays, has he won, or is there no winners in this?
Well, right now, Bartomeu is the biggest loser because Messi stays, but he just released the most shocking interview in the history of Barcelona. I can say this with confidence because the biggest player in the club's history coming out against the current president and simply destroying him in public, something that Messi had never done. He had never taken an institutional side of the club. He was always quiet. He was always to himself. So this comes out as completely unexpected.
Now, it's been reported Lionel Messi stays. Do you think, because of the attack, do you think there's any chance still that he could actually leave during this window? Will this attack on Bartomeu have any effect on the board or what Bartomeu does? Or do you think this is now dead and he will be a Barcelona player 100% for the next season?
Well, if Messi has come out in an interview and said that he will stay, he just said the following here: I will continue at Barcelona and my attitude will not change, no matter how much I have wanted to leave. So he's honest that he wanted to go out, but the club didn't allow him to, especially Bartomeu. Bartomeu didn't keep his promises because, as we all know, Bartomeu had promised Messi to leave, and now Bartomeu didn't follow up with his promises. And this is all-out war, and it comes to the point, Howard, where it's clear that the Catalan media that sides with Bartomeu, they can't protect the president anymore because Messi is bigger than any Barcelona president could ever be. Uh, Basically, Bartomeu doesn't have anywhere to hide, and he was just accused of corruption yesterday by the Catalan police. So, yeah, the doors are closing down just everywhere around Bartomeu. He has no way out, and honestly, I'm first inclined to think that Messi could leave after this attack, but he won't leave because he is a man of his word. If he came out publicly to attack the sitting president and saying that he will stay even against his will, then he's going to stay. This is over, and I think it's possible that he signs a contract with Manchester City on January and leaves at the end of in the middle of 2020 at the end of the season.
Well, I am disappointed. There's no two ways about it, and so are you. It may seem strange to a lot of English football fans that you, as a Barcelona fan, implored him to leave. Can you explain briefly why? Is it because basically you just want what's best for Lionel Messi, and you know that leaving Barcelona is what's best for him?
Yes, honestly, it's my most controversial opinion on social media. It has always been. I have been in favor of Messi leaving since 2017 because I saw how things were going, what was going to happen with the club, and what we have seen in the past 3 years. That just reinforces my feelings and my beliefs. So we this. He should leave, but he's not going to leave now, and he might. I think that Messi have just saved Barcelona from itself, and I don't think that anyone in the history of Barcelona could ever save the club from itself than Messi. He has always been synonymous with Barcelona, and he has done it. He has spoken out against the boards, and he is staying. There's no other way around it. And I would say that the time for Messi to take the best decision for his career is quite honestly over. He will stay even against his word, and we might see new developments next year.
Would you, I mean, as a City fan, would you still advise? Would you think it'd be worthwhile the club? I know I'll get a lot less support this. They'll be 34 by next summer. Would you still implore the club to sign Lionel Messi next summer?
Yes, I would, because Messi would be going for free. So if you're going to sign the greatest player of all time for free, you're basically already saving up a lot of you're already saving up a lot of money, honestly.
Yeah.
And you can simply pay him what you would be paying for the transfer fee, so it wouldn't be a burden. City, even if Messi is not at his best at 34, which I seriously doubt, he can still give to Manchester City everything that the club wants from him. An iconical player that moves the masses, the biggest statement signing of all time, and a show of force that reinforces that everything that Khaldoun, Mansour did from the beginning with the club, bringing Tchishki and Soriano, was the right choice. They were backed by this because Guardiola, the best coach of the last 10 years, Manchester City, Messi, the best player of not only the last 10 years, but of all time, signing with the club. It would be an invaluable thing because Messi sells shirts. He's a marketing phenomenon, and City would be able to explore his image even better than Barcelona has.
Now, I've just said you've implored him to leave. Is that a popular opinion with Barcelona fans, or do you feel like a lone voice when you say that on Twitter, social media?
Yes, I would say that I was a lone voice in 2017 because it was at the time the only day in my life that I actually saw the whole of Twitter turning against me. It was simple as that, and I never backed down from that, and absolutely never did. And many Barcelona fans, more I would say the number is on thousands, came to my mentions after the Bayern match and said, "You were right. Messi deserves better than this." And people don't say this because Barcelona fans have some kind of self-hating philosophy behind them. Absolutely not. This is a matter of all Barcelona fans are thankful for everything that Messi has done for the club.
Yeah.
That's certain, that's absolute. And they have seen Messi suffer on pitch as much or even more than that we fans have done. So wanting him to abandon ship, to leave Barcelona because of the board has made it impossible for him to succeed here was the right choice because it's not selfish. I would say that the real selfish choice would be to want Messi to be chained down to Barcelona forever, no matter how bad the club is, and knowing how Messi is competitive and how winning matters to him. It would be really unfair and disrespectful with the entire player legacy.
If this attack on Bartomeu somehow, and it's probably unlikely, actually forces Bartomeu to resign now, is that remotely plausible? And if he did resign, would it have any effect? Or are you still saying, look, once he's spoken Lionel Messi, then that's it for a year?
Well, Howard, honestly, this might have been the final nail on Bartomeu's coffin. But we have seen this guy. He has taken a lot of flack. He has taken hits from all sides, and he keeps clinging to his presidency. So it might not be that easy, but it comes to the moment where everyone is going to be talking about Messi's attack for a long time. This has just become an iconic moment on Barcelona's history. This is it, and Bartomeu will never be able to avoid that. So, okay, Bartomeu just became that's absolutely certain. We can say this. Bartomeu became the Barcelona president that kept Messi at the club, but Bartomeu is also the president that kept Messi at the club against his will, with lying to him, without fulfilling his promises. So Bartomeu's entire legacy is completely tarnished. If it was already was, but Messi's word has just transformed Bartomeu's legacies in one of absolute destruction. Gaspar was taken as the gold standard of a disastrous Barcelona presidency, but right now, no one will ever recall what Gaspar did, not after what Bartomeu has done. And as I have tweeted on after I've read Messi's interview, Messi has just reached Cruyff status among the Barcelona fans because he has faced the board head on. He has maybe sacrificed a lot of the quietness that he absolutely adores in his life. So he's sacrificing a lot for Barca fans again. He's staying another year. So it's good. I think this is a fine shout to tell Barca fans too, for those that were attacking Messi. So, okay, you attack the guy that Messi knows what's best for Barcelona than you. And this has just been proven by his interview.
What are the promises that he's gone back on Bartomeu that Lionel Messi talks about? Was it always the case that he said Lionel himself could decide this summer or beyond when he left? Is that true?
Yes, that is true. Everyone uncovered a video from Bartomeu of September 2019 where he said that Messi was free to leave whenever he wanted from the club. So Bartomeu said that publicly at Barca TV for everyone to see. And now we have just seen the interview that Messi gave to Go, and what Messi says. He just said that Bartomeu knew that Messi wanted to leave for over a year already, and Bartomeu was telling him multiple times that he could leave whenever he wanted. And the moment that Messi says that he wants to leave, like he was warning Bartomeu for over a year, Bartomeu doesn't allow him to leave. So it has come to a point where Bartomeu played his hands and he's paying for it. He didn't own up to his words, and he is doomed because of it.
Do you think he cares? Do you think he thinks he's won?
Well, honestly, a person like Bartomeu seems to be very selfish, at least from what we know from the outside. I don't know him personally. So he honestly cares, because it has come to a point where everyone throughout football history will always refer to this episode where Messi attacked the Barcelona president. And people will... now, imagine a Barca fan that lives in Brazil like me, or lives in the United States or India or China, I don't know. This person is a Barcelona fan for many years, but it has never participated on social media regarding Barca. This person simply watches the club. This person doesn't know anything about the club. This person just enjoys the club. So you have the situation where people now that never had anything to do with Barcelona's politics will want to know why Messi is attacking the president. What did he do? And now everyone will see Bartomeu for what he is, how he has destroyed Barcelona, how he has made Barcelona a joke in European competitions, and how his sporting planning has absolutely destroyed his whole legacy. He will always be the man that almost pushed Messi out and destroy the club. So yeah, this is going to stick, and I don't think that anyone in the world wants this title, especially now if Bartomeu is forced to resign now, because the motion of censure, the vote of no confidence organized by the club members, are likely to take Bartomeu now, because everyone believes Messi over any president, right? So we have the situation where Bartomeu is going to be taken as the worst Barcelona president of all time, the man that almost pushed Messi out, and Messi is likely going to leave, given his word later. And that's something that will stick for him forever, and he's going to resign. Not only that, if he's taken down, if he doesn't resign, I would say that he's not going to resign. He's going to be removed from office. He and the board are liable to pay for all of the debt that they caused Barcelona during his tenure. So many of the board members are likely to go bankrupt, and Bartomeu has a lot of money. He's unlikely to go bankrupt, but he's going to sweat, and a lot.
Well, you say he's going to get rid of him. When will this be? The elections are next year, aren't they? Is that March? Is that correct? Do you think Bartomeu's time is up? He's not going to last more than a month? And if he doesn't, does it make any change to Lionel Messi's future at the club?
Yeah, I don't think he can. If it's up for him, he's going to stay, but it's not up to him anymore. We just had Messi attacking, and Messi didn't criticize Bartomeu lightly. He simply said that the club is a mess. There's no sporting project. Everything is destroyed, and there are lots of holes. So Messi basically said what your average lunatic called Rafael Hernandez say on Twitter. It's as simple as that. Messi just basically said everything that I've been saying, and of course many other Barcelona fans have been saying for a long time, that the club is a mess. There's no direction. So yeah, he's likely to get removed from office with this vote of no confidence now. And if that happens, other board members will be there too. These board members that lasted will likely be forced to call for elections right now rather to wait until March. Everything changed.
Does that hamper or reduce City's chances of getting him in January then? Signing a pre-contract for next summer?
Well, that's directly related if this board and Bartomeu continue in charge. Yeah. Messi already said that the club is a mess. So if it gets to January, Bartomeu and this board are not removed, he's going to sign a contract. All right, there won't be time for any presidential candidates to reach out to Messi and say, please, Messi, don't go. He doesn't want to listen to anyone else, and he has shown all of his love to Barca with this attack. He could have stayed quiet and stuck around for another year, but he decided to put himself, I would say, in the risk of tarnishing his Barcelona legacy. But he faced this fear, and now he's he was always the biggest Barcelona player ever, but what he did now elevates him even further. It's amazing.
No, but let's say Bartomeu goes within the next month, do you think it's possible then that Lionel Messi stays at Barcelona for the rest of his career? Or is it about on the pitch as much? And it's such a bad position on the pitch, and with Koeman in, I don't see that improving hugely in the future. Would he still leave irrelevant, irrespective of whether Bartomeu was there or not?
Well, if any presidential candidates come and try to convince Messi to stay, yeah, there's always this possibility, because there was always the possibility that he wasn't leaving the club. So I would say that what will happen next is anybody's guess. But if this board continues, he definitely leaves. If the right candidate is elected and manages to persuade Messi to stay, he will stay. But I would say that this is unlikely. I think that he is still on his way out. He just won't leave now. He will leave a year from now.
You've said to me off air that he's been badly advised, Lionel Messi. Do you mean by his father or just by the whole people around him? What do you mean by that? In what way? Do you think this could have been done differently by him? He could have got out the club if he'd chosen a different approach?
Yes, honestly, Messi and his family have always been very closed off from the football world. They're more quiet, more reserved, and they usually refuse advisors to help them. So they're usually on their own on football when it comes to negotiate deals, marketing, and everything. They basically have an office in Barcelona. When potential sponsors come to them, they don't even seek sponsors. They wait for the sponsors to come to them. So he could have done things better, absolutely. I think it would have been better if Messi had come out and did this interview before the burofax, because every Barcelona fan understands why Messi wants to leave and why he is frustrated. Now we know that he's not being a bad captain. He's not betraying the club or anything of the sort. He is just thinking. He's just doing what he thinks is best for his career. So yeah, I would say that he was poorly advised by his lawyers, because lawyers aren't, even if they work in the football world, they underestimated Bartomeu. I would say Messi, his father, and his lawyers underestimated how far Bartomeu would go to keep Messi at the club. But Messi was acting in good faith, because Bartomeu was telling him for over a year that he could leave, and the moment that he wants to leave, Bartomeu says no. So yeah, he could have done things better, but now that we have the whole context, we see that Messi wasn't in the wrong. He was acting in good faith, and Bartomeu was in the wrong, as we all kind of knew for a while now.
Obviously, City have close links to Barcelona. Pep, Cheeky, Ferran. Do you think they could have done things differently? Or they've also taken a standoff approach because they don't want to fall out, because they have friends there, because they've worked there. Do you think they could have been aggressive, or do you think the fact that Lionel Messi would never go to court is what has killed this transfer dead, and nothing else would have mattered, really?
Yes, what killed this deal was Messi not willing to go against Barcelona to court, because the player has just said it himself on this interview, I don't want to take Barcelona to court, so I am staying. I don't want to have the club of my life on court. I don't want to fight against them, so I am staying. So this is totally about Messi's not wanting to go to court, to go to trial against Barcelona. And I would say that City did things very well, because they have kept quiet. They have made a nice offer to Messi, if that 5-year offer is to be believed. And they were simply waiting on the wings. The moment that Messi was free, they were going to sign him. So I would say that Manchester City were very respectful of Barcelona and Messi, especially when Bartomeu criticized Manchester City when they got the Champions League ban. And it's good to recall that Guardiola himself replied to Bartomeu, don't speak too soon about the ban, and now we know why Bartomeu has been. Now the police thinks that Bartomeu is involved in corruption related to Barcelona, and its own star players hate him. So yeah, it's bad.
Tell us about that corruption. It's a strange timing that the police seem to have the evidence as of last night. Do you think there's a connection, or is it just the timing? And what is this Barçagate thing that he's accused of doing?
Well, the Barçagate began in February when a radio station in Spain leaked papers and documents that proved that Barcelona had signed a company, and this company was acting on social media to protect Bartomeu, attack political opponents on social media, and attack its own players. So Messi and Piqué were also attacked by this company.
Yeah.
So you had the case of Barcelona hiring a company to attack its own players, which is absolutely ludicrous, even for Bartomeu standards. So that was it. But of course, Bartomeu denied everything, and he basically, I think that if I'm not mistaken, he hired another company to judge if there was any wrongdoing, and of course, the company said everything was right. But the Catalan police thought differently, and now the club is likely to be investigated for this because this company was paid 6 times the market rate that they should have been paid. So this is already suspicious. And the Catalan police also said that there are suspicions that someone benefited from this deal. Someone actually stole money from Barcelona in this deal. So that's the investigation. So imagine Messi, how he feels right now.
Yeah. Messi himself, then, what do you think? What can you expect from him on the pitch next season? Will you not see any dip in form from him as a true professional on the pitch? Or do you think this could really affect the quality of his play on the pitch? So, in very difficult times, obviously, his friend Suarez is off, good friends going. It's a mess. Do you think it will affect him on the pitch?
Yeah, I don't think that this whole saga is going to affect him on pitch because it has gotten to the breaking point before the football began. If this one is in the middle of the season, absolutely. Barcelona was set to have some awful months, not only Messi, but the whole squad. So you have Koeman. Koeman is a very tough guy. He's very hard. He's a leader. He might be the kind of leader that Barcelona needs for this tough season ahead. And I think that Messi will likely begin the season for Barcelona thinking that it's his last season. So he's going to try his best as he has always done for the club. I don't think it's going to affect performances on pitch because Messi is too focused in football to be distracted by the outside noise. He has had it worse in his career.
As a Barcelona fan, what do you think of the prospects? I mean, is there any part of you that will be happy to see him put on a Barcelona shirt again? I know you want what's best for him, but surely as a fan, is there a little bit that will get some pride to see him play there next year? And also, what are the prospects for this team? Do you see a brighter future at some point, or will the decline continue whether Lionel Messi's there or not?
Well, Howard, to be honest, this is the main reason that I'm happy Messi stays is having Messi play for my team for another season, obviously. Yeah. But most importantly, it comes to Pelé's record. Messi just needs 10 goals to become the footballer with the most official goals scored for a single club. And this has always been a very important record for me at a personal level because Pelé is from Brazil, and breaking another one of Pelé's records would be absolutely amazing for Messi, especially for those here in Brazil that think he's not that good. Absolutely. I am happy that Messi is staying because of that, no doubt about it. And this season, I'm not feeling optimistic. I'm not feeling pessimistic about the upcoming season. Absolutely not. Which is interesting because Koeman might get things right. I think that we need to give him a chance now that he's been appointed. There's no turning back. I think that we need to give Koeman a chance to make things right and maybe lead the team to win a cup or the league. I don't think that we have any chance in the Champions League, honestly. But that's not the priority. The priority right now is rebuild the club properly.
But you must be glad that Rakitic has gone. I've seen your tweets about him.
Yes, absolutely.
Was he that bad?
Yeah.
That's all you're willing to say.
Yeah, but all I'm willing to say. It's like what Mourinho says, that if he speaks, he will be in trouble, and I say the same for myself.
Fair enough. Just La Liga itself. I mean, it's been a very strange day that they released the Messi camp, or signed by his dad, George. That thing that looked, about the 700 million euro release clause was not applicable anymore, and it looked like they were intent on going. Why release that and then say you're staying? Just to make a point, I guess. But for La Liga itself, this must be a boon for, Tebas and the league itself, because if Lionel Messi had gone, then it would be a league that would struggle, do you think? That's how big he is.
Yes, honestly, absolutely. And when you think about La Liga, you think Messi and Neymar and Cristiano already left. If Messi had left, I would say that La Liga would have Simeone as the coach, and you would have an overweight Hazard for Real Madrid, and maybe Griezmann and an injured Dembele for Barcelona. So yeah, things would have been really dire. And you're right, Howard. I think it was a statement of intent from Messi to actually release that statement against La Liga and then stay later, because he's showing that he won't be pushed around anymore. He's not going to take anymore for anyone. A very strong change of stance from him.
Yeah. Tebas obviously don't like Manchester City, so he'll be overjoyed. What's his reputation in Spain? Is he seen as a good leader of La Liga, or is the views of Manchester City fans replicated within a lot of Spanish fans as well?
Well, I don't think that anyone dislikes Tebas as much as Manchester City fans do, but Tebas is not seen as a good person, as a good man here in Spain either, because every time that I see his name, it's related to someone criticizing or attacking him. So he apparently, I would say no, it's not apparent. He's very good at defending the best interests of La Liga. That's absolutely, he's still there because of that. He's very good at that. But aside from that, he's a public relations disaster, and he acts almost blindly for what's best for La Liga. So maybe he's a hard man, but it's what the league wants. It's what the clubs want.
Right. Well, back to Bartomeu. You said that they're personally responsible for the loss of the debt. How does that work? Could that be a criminal matter as well?
Yes, because there's a law in Spain regarding sociedade de sporting societies, if I make a loose translation, which are Real Madrid and Barcelona are two. So they are owned by its members, right?
So socios, yeah.
What happens is, yes, exactly. So there is a mechanism that guarantees that these clubs can't be destroyed by any president or anyone. So they are liable to any debt. So let's say that someone takes over one of the member-owned clubs in Spain and completely bankrupts that club. This person will have to pay from its own pockets, because it's one of the laws in Spain. It's not a football law. It's a law in Spain in its entirety. So Bartomeu is liable to pay for the debt that Barcelona incurred during his presidency. So all of the losses. Let's say that Barcelona ends this year with a loss of like 200 million. He's liable to pay for it because he was responsible for it. He was the man in charge.
Just him.
So basically, it's it's the entire board.
Right.
It's the Barcelona board are liable to pay for it. So it's basically a mechanism to protect the clubs and make those that do bad things to the clubs pay for it. It's very smart, and I think it's very modern by Spain standards.
Yeah. That's what I don't understand. This was a chance to reduce debt. So, out of pure spite, Bartomeu, has he just made his own personal situation a lot worse by not getting a fee for Lionel Messi, getting a huge wage bill off the books? Has he just made his own life a lot worse by doing this?
Yes, exactly. When you think about it, he should have just sold Messi, and he would have avoided this attack by Messi. He would have gotten enough money to likely erase all the debt that he brought Barcelona, and he would have lasted another year in charge, and he would have walked scot-free. But this is a man that has proven to be not very competent at what he does, and now we are seeing him paying for it. He's paying for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm disappointed, as I'm sure you are. Just to reiterate, you think this is 100% dead now, that he will not go back on his word and he is here for a year. But you think City should still, if they can, and there is a side issues here. Pep Guardiola only has a year left on his contract. Lionel Messi will not go to City if Pep's on his way out. So, we'll have to see what happens in that respect. But if Pep is still there for at least another 2 years, you think it's plausible now that he stays for a year and signs for City still, that it is a possibility that we see him?
Yes, there is a possibility, and I would say that the Messi saga, at least for this transfer window, it's over. Yeah. There is always the 1% possibility that the local media absolutely attacks Messi, and it gets to the point where many of the club members turn against Messi. I have seen stranger things happen in Barcelona, ridiculous as it sounds, and it gets to the point when Messi has had enough, even with the club, and he leaves. Yes, I would say that there is a very small 1% possibility this happens, but if in Manchester City's shoes, I would be right now preparing to have Messi sign a contract in January as soon as possible, because you sign Messi, and Pep is definitely going to stay. He loves the club. He's enjoying himself in Manchester, and you give Manchester City are set to give Guardiola all of the players that he wants this summer. After Koulibaly, they are expected to sign another 2 players, and then you bring Messi to him on January. Messi signing a pre-contract. Yeah, he's going to stay.
If Lionel Messi comes, I expect Sergio Aguero stays for a lot longer as well, though he may do anyway. But it all helps.
Yeah, it's likely they would stick together.
Was there any downside to Lionel Messi going to City? Would the circus have been a distraction to the club? Or for you, was it all good?
Yeah, it didn't change anything at Barcelona because the club is always a mess under Bartomeu. So today was just another Friday, right? with a bit more of spice, but that was it.
Yeah, never a dull moment. Our final question then, unless there's anything else you want to say. Would a 34-year-old Lionel Messi at the start of next season still be the best player in the English Premier League if he arrived in a year's time?
Yes, absolutely. It would be a matter of Messi arriving and people saying he's too old, he's finished it. And then after four league rounds, everyone is Messi's the best. And you know how this goes. I think that he has a good 4 to 5 years at the top level, especially if he moves cities. He will have he will have renewed focus. He will have a lot to prove to himself. So it would be a great challenger. And Messi is the kind of player that relishes challenges like any top footballer.
Right. Well, it's not the outcome wanted, but a little bit of me still thinks this might not be dead in the water, but we will see. I think the only positive is the lack of clarity. Is, the video saying he's staying, I think we're all glad to have the uncertainty over in a way, because I know it's only been 10 days since this all erupted, but it seems like a lot longer, to be honest, and I think it needs to be sorted one way or the other. We will see. Who knows? He may still put on a Manchester City shirt one day. Who knows what the future holds? I'm sure, we may be talking about Lionel Messi another time. Rafael, thank you very much for coming on and talking to us as the news broke.
Yes, you're welcome, Howard. It was good to chat before it too. We had quite a few laughs waiting for it.
Yeah, indeed. Waiting for that video, waiting for clarification all afternoon. Get back on Twitter now and see what everyone's saying. Yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for listening, everyone. Lots more stuff coming up, and I'm sure there'll be other transfer news that does not involve Lionel Messi now that this may have been put to bed. Have a great weekend, everyone, and as always, up the Blues.
Now, my friends, let's talk about a subject that you guys know how much I love Rakitic, right? He's one of my favorite players. I like him as much as I once liked Fabregas. So yeah, you know that I deeply dislike the man more than I dislike the Rakitic as a footballer. So I was going to stay quiet about this because Rakitic is finally gone. We are free from him, absolutely. But after the whole clown show, since he left, it's impossible to stay quiet. You know how outspoken I am when it comes to Rakitic, and I'll give him a bit of credit. Let's talk about what Rakitic did that was good for Barcelona. First of all, his first 2 years at the club were absolutely great. I would say that his first season for Barcelona, taking over Fabregas' cursed for number 4 shirt and going there scoring in the Champions League final. He was always covering for Messi and Alves on the right side of the pitch. He was truly incredible. We have to give him that credit. I will always give him that credit. But what he did next is what's really soured things for me. And let's be honest too, Rakitic, when it came to Clásicos, he was constantly great. He played many wonderful Clásicos for us. He scored important goals there. He always showed up versus Real Madrid, and I think that it's not something that you can say about every Barca player for the past few years. So credits for him to that too. I am thankful for what he did, the positive side of it. But what came after his first 2 seasons at Barcelona, it's hard to stomach it, to be honest. Rakitic is really good at the public relations game. He is really good at the political side of Barcelona. Have you guys noticed how he has been praised so hard by the media when he left for Sevilla? It's interesting because Rakitic always had a great relationship with the local media and the Barcelona board too. It's no wonder that he got the renewal that he wanted and he didn't go to PSG. So he's very influential in that side. It's not because he's paying anyone. It's never a matter of paying anyone. Absolutely not. It's about treating people right and giving them attention, and they're going to give you attention and praise in return too. It's an exchange of favors, and that's basically it. In the end, I don't think his legacy is at Barcelona is caring about the club. Absolutely not. He has only cared for himself for the past 3 years. Yeah, this is really harsh to say. It might be even harsher for you guys to listen to it, but it is what it is. I think it's good we recall that his performance at Anfield was one of the worst performances by a Barcelona player of all time. Yeah, I'm not being harsh on him. Absolutely not. His performance was catastrophic. There's a user on Twitter that he basically made a long series, criticizing everything about Rakitic's performance at Anfield. And honestly, when I watched it, it was even worse than I recall. It was catastrophic. He simply crumbled. He made all of the wrong decisions. It was calamitous. And the worst thing of all, I have to be honest, it was Rakitic going to Sevilla for a festival right after Anfield. The club had just suffered one of its worst humiliations in its history, and the man simply took off with his family and went to Sevilla to have fun. You have to take your job more seriously. I know that some people say, okay, he has his personal life, he has freedom to do whatever he wants on his free time. Okay, I agree with that, but at the same time, I think that he owed Barcelona fans more respect for what he did. I will never come to terms with this show of not caring, and that's the biggest problem with Barcelona players lately. It's that they don't care. we can clearly say that most of the players don't put enough effort. They're not focused enough on pitch, and it leads to what we have seen over the years. The last season with the disaster versus Bayern was just the beginning. Honestly, it might get to the point where Rakitic will get more respect from the local media than Messi will. And if that's not everything that is wrong with Barcelona, I don't know what is. Because Rakitic gets a king send-off, and it's good for us to recall the send-off that we had for Daniel Alves, for example. He was one of the greatest modern legends at Barcelona, and he was shown the door and unceremoniously left. He has shown his disdain for the board, and now we can see that Messi shares that disdain too. It's shocking, and it's interesting because in the end, I really disliked Fabregas. Most of you that have been following me for a long time know about my legendary FU Fabregas moments when Rakitic scored in the Champions League final. I was really fond of Rakitic. I really liked him. But in the end, I think it's clear that Rakitic was a better player off pitch than on it for Barcelona. And that is something that I can't forgive.
You're listening to the 117 Podcast.
Now for the final segment, I want to talk a little bit about the podcast and where do I want to go from now on. I've been thinking about a podcast for a long time, as I said at the beginning, and I want to do something different for Barcelona fans and football fans in general. I am going to publish 2 podcasts per week. That's my main commitment with everyone. I also want to make special podcasts for special occasions. I want to make podcasts to talk about other things too. I want to talk about movies and music and anime and TV shows, all those kinds of things that people sometimes are curious about that side of me, and I would like to show it to them, but without getting in the way of football, because football is my main focus and it's the main reason that people follow me too. So I always have that in mind. Absolutely, you guys don't have to worry. I won't ever deviate from the main topic that is football when it comes to me. I want to thank Chris Santana, Arya, and Dimitri again. They really have given me a lot of support and help to kickstart this podcast. I know it sounds simple to simply record with a podcast, edit and release it, but it takes a lot more behind it because I want to do something that lasts. I want to do something great. And for my older followers, you know that when I launched Group 14, I really gave my all. It was my only focus, and I want to talk about Group 14 in depth in the future. Absolutely, I'm going to dedicate a segment of my podcast to talk about Group 14, what went wrong, what went right. That will be done. I absolutely assure you guys. So I am looking for a talented graphic designer too. So if you have great Photoshop skills and you're a football fan, Barcelona fan too, and you want to give me a hand on podcast covers and all kinds of things, just send me an email. It's raf.hernandez117@gmail.com. I'm going to leave the email below the podcast recordings too to make things easy. And I already have opened a Patreon account. I'm going to leave the link below in the description too. It's honestly to keep going with the podcast strong. I'm going to need some support, guys. If you can support me in any way, it's much appreciated. I have added lots of benefits for those that support me. It's better for everyone to simply open my Patreon and read about the rewards there, the follow backs, the exclusive question and answer sessions. It's lots of benefits, and this is what I have in mind for the long term of the podcast. I want to turn it into more than a podcast. I want to turn it into a community, so you can bet that I'm going to be open a Discord channel. I'm going to open more community, more channels for us to talk directly, not only through social media. So see you guys soon, and let's hope for the best. Let's hope that the Messi saga ends soon. I can't wait for it. It's kind of getting really tiring to cover it all, because I just want Messi and Barca to be happy, and this divorce is just, it's not working for anyone. I just want this to get this over with, so we can look at the upcoming season with a bit of positivity, maybe looking forward to the upcoming season. I think it's not going to be a good season, but no harm. I think that Barca has been in a difficult situation before and we came out on top. So there's a possibility that maybe Koeman is going to show himself as a great coach. Why not? Let's just hope for the best. I think that players like De Jong and Griezmann are definitely going to benefit from his coaching. So there's that too. Hoping for the best and prepared for the worst. That's how we should deal things forward as a Barca fan until Bartomeu is gone. See you guys on social media. Take care.
This was the 117 Podcast.